is something I decided to do, I think about 4 minutes ago. I did not announce it in any way. So I don't know how many people I'm going to get. Hi, Kylie. Reps. There are people here. I'm delighted. Awesome, Glorious. Nathan R. Timmy Boy. Hi. Michael. Suicidal Euphoria. This was easily the most spontaneous live stream I've ever decided to do. There's so many people already. Hi. The Clue channel. Hi. First name, last name. I'm really happy to see y'all. I think we're going to have a moment or two of just settling in. Because I literally just, I've been really sick and I got myself all made up to do a sponsorship ad integration thing for like a 1-minute video. And I was like, I'm looking nice. I got my mood up. I didn't want to just go to bed. So I thought I'd take some time to hang out with y'all. Oh, hey, Garrett. It's good to see you. Gonzalo. Hi. Azal, I'm getting a lot of comments, but I would love to know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Azal? Azal? It's a beautiful name. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Hey, John Doe. Hey, that guy. Thank you. Thank you, that guy. I am a big sucker for compliments on my acting, so I really appreciate it. If y'all ever want to really touch my heart, you can compliment me on my acting, or you can say that you are sure that I'm a very good mother. Those are the two things that make me feel the best. What time is it where you are? I am in Austin, Texas, and it is 11:58 p.m. here. Let's see. Thank you, the Clue Channel. Good to see you smiling. Your last video worried me. Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard thing to share with y'all. I'm going through some really tough stuff in life, but I still also have some good stuff in life, and it's also the tough stuff that I'm going through right now is of indefinite length, so I'm trying to not sink into it too much, if that makes sense. Let's see. Did you watch the new Godzilla movie? Is that Godzilla -1? Is that what it's called? I haven't seen it yet, but I've been seeing really good things about it from like my friends on social media. Everyone has been really blown away by it. From what I've heard, it's like not just a Godzilla movie, it's like a really great narrative film. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. The movie I saw most recently in the theaters is, what's it called? Is it Poor Things? I think. With Emma Stone. I absolutely loved it. Really awesome. Caitlin in Maine just at 1 a.m. Caitlin, I was in Maine just in October. Spent some time in Acadia. I loved it so much. It's all 9 a.m. for me. Good morning. Gonzalo went to the cinema today. I'm sorry if my last video made you sad, y'all. I tried to edit it very mindfully. I wanted it to be honest and transparent because I've been dealing with some really sad stuff, but I didn't want y'all to feel like I wasn't okay, if that makes sense. It's I think most of you will understand this. It's very much I'm not okay in a lot of ways, but I'm okay in the broad sense. Like I'm not in crisis or anything. I'm still finding plenty of moments to be happy like when I'm hanging out with y'all. Uh, Gonzalo, in my country it's 3 a.m. You're in South America somewhere, right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make anyone worry. I just knew that the next few months might be kind of weird for me, and I knew that if any of the like kind of impending difficult stuff I'm dealing with like progressed or happened really suddenly, that I might just drop out for a little while, and I didn't want that to worry anyone, so I kind of wanted to just prep you all for it. Carrot, have you ever been to Japan? I have not, but I would love to. As far as Japan goes, one of my favorite non-ASMR things to watch is there are two channels that are a little similar. There's, I think, Solo Travel Japan and Solo Travel Japan. And they show a lot of videos of like trains and ferries in Japan, and they're so peaceful, and I love them. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to see you and hear you're a bit better. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm relaxed. I'm happy to be with y'all. I posted that video where I was just talking about some of the tough stuff I've been through, and I knew y'all would be really awesome about it. Anytime I've posted a video like that, everyone has been very supportive and kind and awesome and emotionally intelligent about it. But even more than I expected, it just, all the comments I've been getting have just felt like this incredible big community hug. And I thought posting the video would make me feel better, just to not like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just in like getting it out kind of way. But then the response I got from everyone was a lot warmer and a lot more comforting than I was expecting it to be. Comments are coming in fast. I'm going to try to keep up. This is just going to be kind of a hangout. By the way, that's what I'm planning. I'm going to try and keep it soft spoken so that it's relaxing for anyone who's trying to sleep. But I don't really have any structured like ASMR triggers that I'm planning at this point. Caitlin said, also loved hearing your kiddo in the background of the video. I think in that video, so I have 3 children, and my daughter, who is 7, almost 8, she is easily just, my children are the greatest joy of my life, but she's just an exceptional human being. She's just this very creative, magical. She's autistic, and she has this like very mischievous Tinkerbell vibe, just getting into things, and her like creativity and her artistry, even as a 7-year-old, is so much fun. And she's always like, when she's around, she's constantly singing and shouting, and it's wonderful. It's not conducive to recording ASMR, so I usually only record when all my kids are at school. So that update video, having her in the background, is something I don't usually do, but it was making me smile to hear her there in the background, so I left a little bit of it in. Hyperbole, half shell. Your Reiki healing videos are the best. Thank you. I go back and forth about whether I actually want to explore any actual like Reiki classes, or I know there's a word for it, for like is it attunement? I really like that stuff, like actually in addition to role play context. I go back and forth about whether or not that's something I want to try out in real life, or whether I just want to keep it as a role play thing. Hey Jamal, it's good to see you. I'm about to drive home, so I won't be talking, but I'm here. I'm so glad that you're here. I know you can't respond. Please don't respond because you're driving and I want you to be safe. But uh, I don't know how many years you've been a really awesome supporter of mine, but it's been, I think, most of the life of my channel. And I'm very thankful. And I smile every time I see you. Taylor Swift, greater than Disney Star Wars. Now see you. Thank you. Oh, we're gifting memberships now. I feel like is that something that was inspired by Twitch, which I'm not super familiar with. That's now happening on YouTube. So I do memberships on YouTube now. I try to do like a couple videos a month, kind of just members chat, director's cut type thing where I just talk about some of my videos, and then I usually do like a lo-fi ASMR thing too. And it's something I've just been kind of dipping my toe into, but I'd love to do more with. Let's see. Thank you, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, for gifting some people memberships. I think there's a way for me to gift people memberships too, but I don't know how to do it. I need to figure that out. Fallon Taylor. I also can't believe you got alive. Oh, you're proud of me. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I was thinking of visiting Australia soon because I've been planning a trip to 2020. I've been wanting to take a trip to Australia since I was probably like 4 years old. Someday. Let's see. Can you do another fixing you video? I love those. Yes, I can. If you could do me a huge favor, when people leave requests on video comments or like emails or stuff like that, I have a whole running notes file where I try to keep those just as inspiration. I'm not good at keeping track of things in live chats, but I've been meaning to do a fixing you kind of video again for a while now. So if you wouldn't mind leaving that request again on a video comment or send me an email or Instagram message or Facebook message or something like that, I'm more likely to remember to add it to my list. Fallon Taylor says, longtime follower. Oh, my whole feed just. I was in the middle of reading someone's really nice comment. Longtime follower, you've changed my whole life. I use so many coping tools from your videos in my everyday life. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. I've absorbed so many coping techniques and I continue to from my favorite ASMR and like relaxation related content creators on YouTube. So the idea that I can pass that on to anyone else feels really good. Thank you. You should do more live videos. I know. Every time I bet if you went through every live video I've ever done, you get a clip of me saying this exact same thing, which is, I know I should do more live videos. I love doing them. Every time I start doing one, I have a great time. And then for some reason, I just don't schedule it. I put them off. I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing. It's like yoga or any of the other things that make me feel great and that I put off doing for some reason. Caitlin, it's funny too for me because I heard the noise and rolled over to look at my toddler on the baby monitor. Like I had my headphones in. Jordan says, I'm from North Dakota. I'm Native American, and I say that you're always looking beautiful. Thank you. I have never been to North Dakota. I've been all up and down the East Coast. I've done a good chunk of the West Coast. I live in Texas. Let's see, I've done New Mexico, Arizona, but there's like so much in the middle that I haven't explored and that I would love to. Angel Fairy says, old shout out, but I love your gem makeup video. I watch it at least once a week. That makes me so happy. So I I'm in this weird spot where I'm a like career YouTuber. This is what I do for a job. And I am supposed to focus on the videos that will like get me the most views. Um, which is fine because I only make videos that I enjoy making. So it's not like I'm being roped into stuff that I don't enjoy. But as an ASMR viewer, I regularly favorite videos from ASMR content creators that are not super highly viewed or that are not that particular creator's most viewed stuff. So I have a huge appreciation for those videos that are older or not super popular, but that mean a lot to me. So when I hear that, like, my videos in those types of categories are things that other people enjoy, that's really good encouragement to keep making those types of videos, even though they're not necessarily the most like income generating videos. They're still very soul feeding videos, if that makes sense. Let's see. I have a little mute button here. And I'm probably gonna have to use it a bunch. I have strep throat and I've been super sick. I just started taking antibiotics today, so I'm starting to feel a little better, but I have a lot of weird throat and nasal and body stuff going on. So I'm sorry if I have to swallow a lot or press the mute button. Is there any ASMR you hate? I can't stand the chewing, eating, slurping ones. I can honestly say that I can't think of any ASMR videos that I hate. There's plenty out there that doesn't really do it for me, you know? I know ASMR can be so subjective and just like music or art. So there's plenty out there that I'll try and watch, even if it's like trendy or big. And if I see something's trending, I'll be like, maybe this is something I can get into and make a video on it and I'll listen and it just doesn't land for me. Um, but that's okay. Yeah, I know like the eating ones are up there with the more controversial stuff. It's been a while. I have watched some eating ASMR videos or like mukbang type stuff, and I do find it, I can find it kind of enjoyable and comforting. I don't get any ASMR from it, but uh, thank you, the Clue Channel. You have been very kind and very supportive, and I super appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Madame Meridian is great. It's a fun character. Um, don't push yourself, pretty please. I won't. I'm like on a little bit of a energy high, I guess, because I got myself all psyched up to film that like 1 minute sponsorship thing that I need to add to a video this week. So I figured I'd spend some time hanging out with y'all, and then once I start crashing, I'll just peace out. Longtime appreciator of your channel since 2014, 2015. Thank you. I think it's 2014 when I started. At any rate, since the early days. Thank you. It's so great to hear from people who've been around for almost the whole time. I don't know what this stream is about, but every time I have come back from being in the hospital, you have posted within the hour of me being discharged. I want to say thank you for all the good you do. That's really cool to hear. I love stories of synchronicity, like when things happen at just the right time. That's a thing I love in life. I've had this weird thing with my mom for years, well, I'll just like get an urge to call my mom. I live over 1,000 miles from her. I'll get the urge to call my mom sometimes, and for a long time, like 80% of the time when I would call her, it would be right when she was getting home. And there was always a joke that I had like spies on her or something because it was weird how the timing was always like just perfect. She doesn't really leave home much anymore, but another Madam Meridian comment. I don't really like Twitch because Amazon is now allowing explicit content. Yeah. I know explicit content is like a controversial topic for some people. I don't really have any problem with explicit content on Twitch. I do. It is like, I guess, just practically inconvenient that because of what a lot of ASMR is on Twitch, and because it's gotten so big, there can be a little bit of like, if I tell people I do ASMR and I have like a school age children, if they tell people their mom does ASMR, there can be like a little confusion about what exactly that means. But you know, people do what they do and people enjoy what they enjoy. And that's okay. Strep throat ain't fun. It is not. I've been really surprised by how like whole body the strep throat has been. I don't know if I've ever had strep throat before. And I always thought it was just like a really bad sore throat, basically. But like, okay, I got a fun story for you. So I actually thought I had COVID again. I had COVID a couple of years ago and I had all these symptoms that made me think I had it again because it was the same, like just horrible muscle aches and super sore throat and headache, and like my lungs were hurting and all these other things. I was like, oh, I think I have it again, because I was so sick. And then I went to the doctor, and it turned out that I just have strep, and it can affect more of your body than I realized. But the medical assistant or nurse or whoever went to do the, nose swab for COVID, how they do both nostrils. So I don't know. Yes, I do have my nose ring in right now. So I had this exact nose ring in, and he went to put that long swab up my nose, and he swirled it around. And then, like, about halfway through the second swirl, it just got in my nose ring. And he, like, couldn't get it out. And it was this incredible, like, sitcom awkward moment where I had to be like, stop, please let me handle this. And I like pushed his hand away and I like fiddled with it. It felt like a really long, it was probably just like 10 seconds, but I had to like play around with it to like get it unhooked from my nose ring. But my nose has been a little sore since then. Let's see where we are. Jade, I'm so happy to see you. I hope you're well. I got a lot going on and I'm sick, but I also have so many wonderful things in my life that it kind of balances out. So it's okay. I'm all right. And I'm going to be okay. Hi, Nengar. The ear cleaning video with the mini GPs was so highly amusing. I had so much fun. That's a really special video for me. Any video where I can be like really creative and do some extra fun, silly acting stuff is extra close to my heart. I don't know how many of you know this, but I went to school. I have a bachelor's degree in theater performance, so I have a background in acting. And, once I got older and started having kids, there was just really no practical way for me to do acting anymore. I can't really do rehearsal or filming schedule or anything like that. So YouTube has been my outlet for acting, and I love getting opportunities to do that. Okay, let me catch up here. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much for all the join You're a gem too. Thank you, Lori. No, that's the rose ring. Okay, yeah. Elliot's saying, oh man, I had strep throat right about this time last year. I too was surprised at how full body it was. Yeah, I was just like, I guess it makes sense if you think about it. That just, our bodies don't do a lot of localized stuff. If you're sick, kind of the whole system goes into action. So I guess it makes sense that my whole body just kind of freaked out. Yeah, no, hi. I'm glad to see you. Hi, Lunar Blossom. I'm happy to see you here. Your virtual tranquilizer video you did a few years back. It's been my go-to. That's like an older one. I haven't revisited that one in a long time. I should look at that again. I've done so many videos at this point that every once in a while, like, I don't have a good mental inventory of what different videos involve, because I put a lot of like thought and technique and structure into my videos, but then there's not a lot of like post-mortem stuff. I just move on to the next video and move on to the next video. So what can happen pretty often is I might have older videos that have some really good stuff in them that I just don't think about or haven't really reviewed. So I always appreciate when people mention older videos that they like, so I can try to revisit that and see what might have been in it that works, Yak Nose is another person who's been around for a long time, and I'm really happy to see. Gonzalo keeps asking about sexualized ASMR. I don't really want to like legislate what anyone else enjoys. It's just, it's been a divisive thing since very shortly after ASMR started being a thing. I don't personally make or watch sexualized ASMR just because for me, like, my memories of experiencing ASMR go back to when I was a child, so I consider it almost like a pre-sexual thing. It's this wonderful full body feeling that I get that I consider like very separate from sexual feelings, but that's just my personal experience. There's so many people out there who enjoy it and say that they can have sexual feelings and ASMR tingles at the same time. And I can't relate to that because I don't, but like, I'm not gonna tell anyone else that their experiences aren't true. Um, so I don't know. I think that's like a very broad question about, you know, content and censorship and things like that. And it's a tricky thing. So it's not something I have a whole lot to say about it, other than um, I make what I make, and I watch what I watch, and other people have different tastes sometimes, and that's fine, and I don't have a big problem with it. Would you ever do a personality visualization test video like the cube test? I'm not 100% sure what that is. If you don't mind taking out some homework and maybe like emailing me or something at jellybeangreenasmr@gmail.com with a link to an example, I'll review it, because that sounds very on par with the type of thing I would enjoy doing. So I'll consider it. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with comments. Once again, for any of you who are fairly new to the chat, this is just a very spontaneous hangout kind of thing. It's not, I'm trying to keep it soft smoking so you can relax, but it's just a relaxed hangout Q&A kind of thing. Thank you, Jade. I hope I feel better soon too. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. um, Kitty says I just got off from work. This was a nice surprise. It's good to have you here, Kitty. Jamie Davis says I got whatever's going around, muscle aches, chills, fever, and a runny nose. Yeah, I very luckily over the past 2 years or so have just been relatively healthy for me. I have a lot of history of having a lot of illness issues. So when I get sick now, I get a little anxious because I'm like, oh no, is it back? Am I going to get sick all the time again now? But all right, I'm going to be fine. Could you do a whisper from ear to ear? Just as a journal thing for all y'all, I'm happy to read your requests now and I'll try and log them in my memory. But if you want me to add them to my request list, I need to see a request in one of my video comments because I usually try to keep up with those and I'll copy paste onto a notes file that I have. Matthew, former chat professional and ice cream man. You would have been great on Saturday Night Live when it was good. Thank you, Edmund, to put my voice. A voice full of nuances, as many colors as there are emotions. And you really have an impressive register. Thank you. I do have a little bit of training, I guess, just from going to university for acting, and there's some very voice specific stuff there. And I do have some singing background as well. But it's nice to hear that I'm still practicing that and that's working well for people. Thank you. The way you end certain words or emphasize certain syllables, I assure you, yeah. So that's one of those examples of just how awesome feedback can be, because somewhere along the line I started tracking out the end consonants of words, all right. And people started commenting that was really great for them and that it worked for them. So I started doing it more. And that's, I know as YouTubers, a lot of us tend to ask y'all to tell us what you think and leave comments. And part of that is, from an industry perspective, just us trying to drive engagement. So because the more comments you leave on a video, the more likely the algorithm is to suggest it to people. But I try not to do that unless I'm genuinely curious. But that's one of those examples where asking for people's feedback on what works for them is really helpful, because if I hear the same thing from a lot of people, then I can start working it into videos more. Field Rebel says hello. Hello, Field Rebel. Angelica says you're my favorite ASMR artist. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I know there are a lot out there. Reality is an illusion. Hello, Wisconsin. Anxiety interruption. I would like to make another one of those. I haven't in a while. I have a lot of fun writing those. Where was I? I just lost my... Oh my gosh, I'm super behind. Okay. To catch up with the chat, I'm going to have to scroll through. I'm sorry if I miss anyone's questions. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to keep up here. Also, for anyone who's new to the stream, I'm just going to say again that I have strep throat. So I'm hitting mute a lot just because I'm not feeling so great. Wait, where? Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. Jamal made it home. I'm so sorry I have strep. Once I was out of commission for a whole week. It's it can be surprisingly bad. I had no idea, and I feel bad because I'm sure I've talked to people who had strep throat, and I was like, that's too bad. I did not know how bad it's you. All right, so just real quick, I see that Loving Hypno ASMR is here, and if y'all have a second to open up another tab or something, please go subscribe to her if you like loving Good Vibes and Hypnosis. She has been one of my favorite go-to ASMR content creators. I think she has 2 different channels. Uh, Sarah, please feel free to post the name of the other. Is it Sarah M ASMR or something? No, Hypnosis. Um, but she does a combination of ASMR and hypnosis, and for me, it, like, hits that perfect sweet spot where it's good ASMR, it's good vibes, she's so genuine, she's really smart, the, like, stuff she has is it feels, like, really flowy, and, it's just good stuff, and it's stuff that feels both like it it's food for my mind and my soul and helps me sleep, and there aren't that many channels out there that, like, hit all of that, so I highly recommend. Violet says, "What's your job?" This is my job. Making ASMR content on YouTube is my job. I am one of the very luckiest people on earth because 'cause I've gotten to a point where, um, not that I'm, like, making a ton of money off of it, but I'm making enough that it's, like, a really good paying part-time job, and as someone who has 3 children, 2 of whom are, uh, for lack of a better term, like special needs kids, it's not practical for me to have like a regular 9 to 5 job. So being able to do this to make my income and also it being something that I love doing and that also I feel like makes a positive difference in the world is really, really special. So yeah, this is what I do. Okay. Gosh, I hate just like scanning over. But I need to catch up. I'm super behind. Someone left a comment about the just allergies thing. It's so funny how that's become like a thing in our broader culture of like, oh, it's just allergies. When like allergies can be pretty rough. Like even just seasonal allergies can set off all these horrible inflammation things that make you miserable and not able to function. So the whole like just allergy things, I feel bad that we all still get saddled with that. Hopefully we can get to a point where people understand that like just allergies can be just as bad as having like a full-blown cold or something like that. Jamal says 2016 was the first time I've heard of ASMR. I've been your sport ever since. I was living in Alaska at the time, and sleep was very hard for me to come by. Yeah, I think I remember. Were you like in the military then, or still? You don't have to talk about it publicly, but I remember. Thank you, living hypno. Just like I'm still waiting for another Boston Whispers sighting. I will probably do one day, and it will be totally just for you because I think you're the only person who ever asks for it. But it was fun to do. I think the reason I keep putting it on is because it has to be like the last one that I did. I think it was a very short video, like 8 or 10 minutes, but it was very fully scripted because I wanted to work in so much Boston area slang, and I went through so many different, like, not just pulling from my own experience because I grew up in central Massachusetts, but like going into Reddit posts and internet articles about the Boston accent. So I probably did more research for my silly little Boston Whispers video that I did a few years ago than almost any of my other videos. I would love to do it again. It's just a surprising amount of work too, because I think because I'm from there, it's extra important to me that I like get it just right, if that makes sense. Richard, oh, it's good to see you. Oh my goodness. Michael, thank you. Oh my goodness. 50 memberships. I've been meaning to like put, I'm sorry. I've been meaning to like push membership. Okay. That's a lot of memberships. I've been meaning to push memberships for a while because it's something I took really seriously when they've been around for a few years and I if I was going to start doing them, I wanted to do it right. I wanted them to be super accessible. Anyway, I wanted it to just be 99 cents to join. And I wanted to feel like it was adding some kind of actual additional value for people. But I also know myself and I know my life and I know my limits. And I knew that I couldn't do a ton. So for anyone who's wondering or who now has a membership gifted to them, I just tried to do 2 YouTube membership related things a month. I do like a members chat thing. And I've just recently started doing like a lo-fi ASMR thing. And it's just this like kind of fun, relaxed, casual. The point being, I'm trying to strike this balance between it being very accessible, but also genuine added value. And the idea that I'm now going to have 50 extra members is amazing. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm caught up on comments. Again, for anyone who's not caught up, I'm currently on antibiotics for strep throat, and there's a lot going on. So I'm muting a lot to clear my throat, so I'm not, just in case anyone's listening and they've fallen asleep, I don't want to horrify anyone or wake them up with like throat clearing or coughing, so please. Just give me a second. Let's see. I will also say, again, I'm going to try to throw some periodically. I'm doing my best to keep up with comments. They're moving a little faster. If I do not respond to your comment, it is likely that I just had to scroll through and I missed it. I'm not intentionally ignoring anyone. Every once in a while, I will intentionally ignore someone if they're like really out there, but it doesn't happen that very often. GP1 Production says, I've been watching your videos on and off for years. Now I say I love your work. Thank you. Thank you for watching my videos. Magic Land ASMR says, I really wonder how you would think about my stuff. Love your work. Magic Land ASMR. I'm going to say the same thing to you about requests. If you want to leave like a comment on one of my other videos, that's just like, hey, you asked me to leave a comment, check out my videos. I will try to do that at some point. I'm just not good at keeping track on stuff in the chat, but I'm more likely to keep up on comments that are left on my videos. Matt of the Desert. JP, have you ever heard of Us? Is it Us Girl or US Girls? I swear you have a doppelganger. The main vocalist there. I haven't, but she sounds super hot. Where am I? Caitlin says, hey, I'm a masshole transplanted to Maine from the North Shore. I spent 10 years on the North Shore. I went to school in Salem, and then I continued to live in there for a while, so I love the North Shore. Love the Witch City. Yes. Whisper Science, hi. Oh, hope you're okay. I am okay. Again, it's just this weird, and I think most of you will understand this. I'm going through a time where I'm having a lot of not okay, and that I feel not okay. I'm not like in crisis or anything. Just as someone who has a history of like mental health issues and stuff like that, I feel like it's important to differentiate between I'm not okay and maybe someone needs to get me in a program and, like, I'm not okay, and, like, I just hope no one gets mad at me for not responding to their text messages for weeks on end. Um, so yeah, I've had a lot of sad and tired and struggling, and I'm probably going to for this sounds weird to say, hopefully a long time. I have some I'm going to talk about some like terminal illness and grief stuff real quick, and then I'm going to not anymore. But I'm dealing with uh, impending grief for a couple family members. I have a couple family members who are getting to later stages of terminal illness. I talked about this in a update video recently. So it's this weird thing because it's like I'm really struggling with it. But I also hope to keep struggling with it for as long as possible. Because I don't want to lose them. Where are we? Okay, moving on. Mad Science Gaming. Hi. Oh, I did come and go. I love your PSO electropuncture videos. Do you think you will do more? Yeah, I'd love to. It's just there are so many videos I would like to do more of just based on my energy levels and my children's schedules. Of all the videos I would like to do, actually, let me see if I can rotate you. I don't know if y'all can see. There's this, every one of these, sorry, my camera's like reversed, so it's hard to, every one of these note cards here is just like an idea of an ASMR video, and that's only maybe like a quarter of the ideas that I would like to work on. So I would say for every ASMR video I publish, there are probably at least 10 that I've been wanting to make. So I kind of live in this constant cycle of just having so many more ideas than I can execute. And I feel bad sometimes because I'll tell people like, yeah, I want to make that video or I want to make this video, and then years will go by, but I just cannot keep up with all the videos I would love to make. So of course my dream is to become like very independently wealthy someday. I think I'm one of the rare, like what, point maybe 0.001% of the population who, if I won the lottery, would 100% keep doing their job. But I would probably just hire a few people to help me make all my stuff and keep on track and all those things because I have so many ideas and I have so much fun making these videos. And it's the biggest challenge for me with making ASMR videos is just practically keeping up with all the stuff I want to make. Okay, I'm gonna try and catch up here. Let's see. Jamal says, I'm so amazed that you remember. Of course I remember. You've been very nice and supportive. These past 2 years have been a roller coaster. I don't want to assume roller coaster is usually like up and down, good and bad. So I'm sorry for any of the tough stuff of that. You've been so good to me, and I'm sorry for any tough stuff you've been dealing with. MDHNEO007, been a subscriber for a while. Thanks for the bit. Thank you so much. Gonzalo says, your ASMR videos help me a lot. Thank you, Gonzalo. Jamal, you baby twin girls. Oh my goodness. Jamal. I don't know how many other parents there are in this chat. I think I heard someone describe parenthood once as all joy, no fun. And I don't think that's, like, quite in line with what I feel, but it's like it's such a thing, in a lot of ways, it's the hardest thing you will ever do. I don't know, I hope this doesn't sound too trite to people who are, like, aren't into this stuff. If you're not into having kids, that's fine, I respect that, but for the people who are, it's like, I hear baby and having had 3, like, that brings back a lot of stuff. Hearing twins, Jamal. That's amazing, I'm really excited for you. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. That's really exciting, congratulations. It's a lot, and it's gonna be a lot for you, but it's also gonna be awesome. I'm excited for you, I'm also supportive of, um, you're not gonna be sleeping that well. But then you'll get through it, and, my biggest recommendation to anyone who is either has kids on the way for the first time or even for the second, third, fourth, fifth time, I think one of the biggest challenges of having children, no matter how many children you've had, is that all that sleep deprivation affects your memory, um, which I think is maybe like a species survival thing. If we don't remember how hard it was, we're more likely to do it again. Um, but there are all the people who are like, enjoy every moment, which is not a thing. You cannot enjoy every moment. A lot of moments are not enjoyable, but I recommend just recording as much you can as in whatever format is comfortable for you, whether that's making posts on social media or journaling or taking photos and sharing them with family, because there is so much you're going to forget. Like I had my first child in 2012, and then I had my daughter in 2016. And like that was a whole thing because she was premature and it was like an emergency C-section. Like we almost lost her. It was very dramatic and stressful. She's great now. She's perfect and magical. And then I had my third child about a year after that. And going back now, my youngest child just turned 6, and I will go back to some of my personal Facebook posts and stuff, and it's weird and sobering how much I don't remember. And it makes me sad sometimes. I'm like, how this is obviously one of the most important things in my life. How do I not remember this and this and this? But just on a very fundamental physiological, biological, you know, way, your memory is affected. So I recommend photos, journaling, whatever you can, because all those sweet, potent, beautiful, visceral moments that you're going to have with your baby might be tough to access in a few years once you're like recovering from all the exhaustion. So that's my big tip. Okay. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent then. Let me go back and try to. I just got so excited that Jamal's having twins. Loving Hypno says, I have been appreciating your candid sharing with us. I don't know, sorry to just address one person here, but I don't really know your like tastes and stuff, but I just shared a song in a community post and I actually meant to tag you in a comment because I don't know your tastes, but I've been going through some rough stuff and I shared this song in a community post that has been kind of like emotional and comforting for me. And for some reason, it just occurred to me that you might appreciate the vibes from this song. So if you get a chance to check it out, Sarah, please do. And it's fine if it's not your thing. I just thought of you. Caitlin says, "Hi, I'm from Lynn. Spent many days gallivanting around Salem. I have, I think, at least 2 tattoos from Lynn. This tattoo that people always ask about was from Lynn, Massachusetts. Um, I lived there a long time ago, but there was like this silly rhyme that people used to say about Lynn. I don't know if they still do, but it was like, Lynn, Lynn, the city of sin, you never come out the way you went in, or something like that. Um, but yeah, I totally got this like last minute tattoo at like some biker tattoo shop in the middle of the night after seeing the movie that inspired it. So I love hearing about North Shore stuff. Tequila Sunrise RV says, "I'm reminded of the Friends episode when Phoebe had a cold." Oh my gosh, I have to catch up on comments. Okay. Jackknife. Hi. Loving him. Me too. The idea isn't pull to make the videos should only be supported by a large windfall of money when you're helping people, and it's really fun. You have to keep going. I know. I know I'm not the first ASMR content creator to say this, but the dream is to come into some insane windfall of money and make like some compound commune in the middle of an isolated area that has all these soundproof rooms where we can all just move in and make content together. um, Hello, how are you today? Hi from Australia. Derek. Thank you, Derek. Yeah, I know. Pandemic has definitely been like I don't know, if we talk about, I'm sure 10, 20, 50 years from now, when we talk about culture and history, there's going to be like a big dividing line from before pandemic and after. And I've had so many moments of wishing I could just zoom into the future and read retrospectives so I could understand all this more clearly. Damien says kids are the toughest blessing. Jamal says I'm going to play your ASMR in the room. I'm going to have to make a ASMR for twin girls. Magic Land ASMR says noted parenting skills. My 10-month-old is a huge fan of the light trigger videos. It's funny because I think my oldest child, I didn't think experienced ASMR for a while. I remember because he was at like 2 when I started my channel. He's 11 now. He'll be turning 12 in a few months. And I remember back when I was first getting into ASMR, people would leave these comments like, "Oh, it must be the best to have a mom who's an ASMR artist because she just sees you to sleep." And I bet you can just like magically put your kids to sleep, and it does not work that way. And I remember trying to like ASMR him to sleep a few times when he was really little, and I would be like, "Just relax, lay down, like feel your muscles relax." And he would be like, "Mom, that's weird. Please stop." My daughter is more into it, and then my youngest son is, I think, maybe also into it. It's such an interesting question because we don't understand ASMR that well, so we don't understand to what extent it's something that you just experience or don't, or whether enjoying it is something you can develop or tap into or not. But I will tell you that within the past year or so, my oldest child has started to listen to my videos sometimes when he's trying to fall asleep. And I don't, like, I can feel my heart just dying with love when I think about it. Like, just the fact that, I don't know. I think any of you have kids. Um, I know my oldest son is 11, and then my daughter is 7, and she's like minimally verbal. So she's like incredibly expressive and communicative, but it's not like the way she communicates isn't totally in line with the way that I communicate and understand things. So we're like very connected, but as far as like more, I don't know, advanced concepts or communication, like I can't always understand her and she can't always understand me. And then my youngest is also autistic and has some like language delay stuff. Um, but my oldest child is in a place where he can talk to me about my job and about, like, at some point, I guess kids at his school found out that I was a ASMR content creator, and I was a little nervous about that because I don't know. When I was a kid, kids could be really mean about like weird stuff, but it seems like generally kids are less crappy now, more emotionally intelligent. I don't know. But yeah, my oldest child is very familiar with what I do, and some of his school friends know what I do, and he's like proud of me, and I don't know if there's any better feeling in the whole world than your child being proud of you. So let's see. That was a wild tangent. Let me catch up again. My son's not even 2 yet, and I can't even believe at the start of this year he's just starting to walk. Yeah. Hey, Mr. D. Backer fans. I'm really happy to see you. What I missed, it's just been a lot of rambling and hanging out. This hasn't been super structured. It was just spontaneous, and I'm just doing kind of a Q&A hangout thing. Hi, Emma. Metathena. Hi, thank you. Timeshare ASMR compound in the middle of the woods. Hi, crap. Caitlin, they do still say that about Len. Let me see. I do not have the skill that is required for keeping up with comments. If I ever had more than like 100 people in this chat, I don't know what I would do. Just in case anyone has just showed up in the past 10-20 minutes, I could let you know this is just an unstructured Q&A hangout. I'm also going to let you know that I've strep throat and I've been really sick. I'm like high on energy and community support right now, but I'm muting a lot to cover up my weird, gross throat sounds. Garrett says, your ASMR videos helps me through depression whenever I'm feeling down because I've lost my father, my 2 dogs, my grandparents in the last 10 years. That's a lot in the last 10 years. I'm sorry. Hi, Alberta, Canada. I have not spent much time in Canada. I dream of doing that. The US does not have much of a rail system, but I know that on this continent, Canada has the closest thing to like a really awesome train system. I know you really got to go to Europe to get the good stuff, or Asia, but again, since it keeps coming up, if I ever, win the lottery or whatever, that like coast to coast Canadian sleeper car thing is a dream of mine. Caitlin, it's also beautiful they have your catalog to listen to at different points in their life. There's probably Sorry for the scratchy sounds. I hope this doesn't sound super morbid. I'm kind of like a moderately morbid person, like, that's just who I am. But, yeah, that's actually just a thought that I've had, like, and I think if you're a parent, that's just a thought that you have, like, if anything ever happens to me, because that's the biggest fear you deal with. Like, what if something happens to me? I'm not here to take care of them when they're still, like, young and developing. But yeah, that's something I think about with my channel all the time, that I am comforted and thankful that if anything ever does happen to me, that it's like some can I think someone left a comment recently that was really insightful and sweet where they said something about how some videos come from Lola and some videos come from JB, and that JB is part of me but not all of me. And that really hit my heart, and I think that's really true. And I love the idea that um, someday, if it was ever a thing, and even if I'm around, that my children can have access to these videos and have access to some part of me, that's not something that everyone has of their parents. So, yeah. Jackknife says, my little one has decided sleep is the enemy. He could be rubbing at his eyes, can't set up levels of sleepy. But the moment I start rocking him to sleep, the flame and the lighting begins. Yeah. Wow, never thought I'd catch you live. Hi, Cobras. You caught me. You got me. Let's see. Everyone's getting memberships. Thank you, Jamal. Look at all these memberships. You get a membership and you get a membership. Thank you, Mr. D. Packer fans. You've been extra super generous with me lately. Thank you so much. What was that? Was that just a small creature trying to escape from my throat? I'm sorry. I've been so sick. Let's see, where am I? I think I'm going to start wrapping up soon because I can feel myself getting pretty tired. And I hope I'm not keeping anyone up. I know I've definitely stayed up later than I meant to, following people's lives just because I like hanging out with them. Hi, Kitty ASMR. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Hannah, for your 100th like. I think that I didn't understand the hyper on ASMR when all the grace was happening. Soap cutting and crinkling legs. Then I saw a recommendation from Sophie Michelle. Sophie Michelle's great. Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about ASMR. It's like, sorry, it's a genre, and it's as broad as like comedy or romance. There are so many different types of things. Thank you, reality is an illusion. I like making cranial nerve videos. Mad of the desert. And Rose. Good night, loving hypno. All right. Garrett. Yeah, I do have a Facebook page. I mostly just will like post some of my video links to it once in a while. But if you go on Facebook and do like JB Korean ASMR or Jelly Bean Korean ASMR, you should be able to find it. I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Chucky says, I think kids are more emotionally intelligent. I finished high school a few years ago. My friends and I sure didn't talk about my smart videos in school. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems of our culture is that we just a lot of us tend to not think of children as full people, and they really are. Like they're not just like undeveloped people, they're people. They're full 100% people right from the start, and they just go through phases like all of us do. Um, a 10-year-old is a full human being in the same way that a, 30-year-old is a full human being compared to a 60-year-old. We just have more experiences. I am very much a proponent of the idea that I don't think kids get the respect that they deserve. Um, Thank you, Jay Wesley. Craftem says no content creator can really keep up with their chat. I know that's true, but I still it makes me feel bad. Okay, so let's see where we're at. I'm gonna try and catch up with some comments, but I'm also gonna start trying to wrap up. Thank you, Jamal. Caitlin says I went to school for funeral service, sideline for motherhood. I went to school for nursing and then sidelined for motherhood, put it off indefinitely. But that's really cool. One of my I don't know if it's been a while since I watched, but yeah, I'm very interested in like death positive culture and stuff like that. I think that's, since I'm talking on and on about my perceived issues with our culture, um, death positivity is also a big interest of mine. So that's really cool. Train ASMR would be awesome. Yeah, I did a sleeper train for the first time in my life a couple of years ago. I went to Chicago from Austin. I took some footage and I meant to make like a role play out of it, and I still might someday. It's just gonna be a lot of work, and I keep kind of kicking the can on it. Hi, Adriano. Thank you, Jeffrey. Andre Denali. Been watching since 2016. That's a long time. Thank you. Saying good night from Puerto Rico. Good night, Puerto Rico. Smiley me some hi. Jeffrey says, my mother-in-law runs a school for children with special needs. Thank you. Jamal's hopping off. Good night. Thank you. And yeah, I think we're in a good place to start wrapping up Tequila Sunrise. I took that same train ride a couple of years ago. I would love to do more sleeper train stuff. I really enjoyed it, even though what we have in the US is so like bare bones and sketchy with the way our rails are here and inconsistent. I really enjoyed it, and I would love to do it again. It's really challenging because of my limited schedule with my kids. I can only get away for a few days at a time, tops. But hi, Steph. Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone who came to hang out with me. We got some amazing membership gifts, which I forgot was a thing, and I'm really overwhelmed by. We got some awesome super chats. I'm really glad I just got to spend some time with y'all. Thank you. Y'all mean a lot to me. And I'm going to wrap up and start trying to wind down for the night. I hope if y'all are in a part of the world and the life situation where it's time for you to get to sleep, I hope you can get some awesome sleep. I hope you can get some sweet dreams. And I have 2 different ASMR videos in the can that I'm looking forward to editing and getting out to you over the next week or two. And thank you. Thank you for all your kindness and support. And I will see you soon.